My name's Cole Arnberg. I'm from Redfield, Iowa.
I'm Rielly Allgreen. I'm from Stewart, Iowa.
I'm Rielly Doud. I'm Nick's wife now. I was fiancé at the time.
I'm Nick Doud, and I'm an electrician.
We always hung around Nick.
We've been best friends for, seems like forever now, but he's always been a down-to-earth guy. He'll take the shirt off his back for you. He'll do about anything that you ask.
Well, when I started dating Rielly, she just kind of became a part of us.
I always kind of knew Nick. We grew up going to the same church and lived in small towns that were next to each other. We started hanging out at the lake. We had mutual friends at the lake, and just from there kind of, I don't know, we started dating, and then we dated for about 4 years and got engaged.
I told her sister when we were in high school that I was going to marry her, so 18-year-old me said that.
It was just a normal Friday night. We were trying to think of something to do, so we decided to go to the Iowa Wild hockey game.
This was the first hockey game that we'd been to like as a group.
My fiance at the time, and then my two friends, Cole and Rielly.
We went to an Iowa Wild hockey game at Wells Fargo Arena. Yeah, it was normal then.
We were leaving the hockey game, and I don't remember what road it is, but it points straight at Mercy Hospital. And we were thinking, like, what are we going to do now since the game's over? And we were headed home. And I believe it was Nick that said, well, just as a joke, let's go to the hospital. And we all kind of like looked at each other like, what? Like random and whatever, and then went on our way, and it happened. And
I was driving and he was sitting right behind me, and it sounded like he made like a snoring noise, and he kind of slouched. And Rielly thought he was joking.
Right before that, we were talking about if we were going to go home or go to a bar from there, and he was on the team go home because he wanted to go hunting in the morning. So when he slumped over, we kind of thought he was joking and saying, like, we get it, you're tired, you want to go home.
we thought he was joking around, and then quickly found out that he wasn't joking around.
We pulled off on the exit, and from there, Cole called 911, and I pulled Nick out of the car, and we started CPR immediately.
We only did it for, I mean, it seemed like forever that we were doing it, but then that nurse stopped, and she took over for a couple minutes, and then the cop came.
When it really kicked in is when they hooked up the AED to him, and it says shock needed. That's when it really kind of, you knew it was serious.
Once the ambulance got there, they had to get him stable enough to transport him. So they got him hooked up to the Lucas device that takes over CPR, and just waiting there, it felt like forever.
And so I called Julie, his mom, and I was like, okay. First thing I said was, like, relax, like, I'm gonna tell you something, like, you just need to be prepared for what I'm gonna tell you. And I told her, I was like, we're on the side of the road, like, Nick had an episode, like, we don't really know what's going on, but he stops breathing, his heart stops beating.
It was a shocking phone call, but knowing on the backside of things, the severity that we were undergoing and Nick was undergoing, we're forever grateful, of course, not only that they started CPR, but how quickly they did it and were knowledgeable.
Our PE teacher made us learn CPR every single year. I don't think any of us ever thought it would actually come in handy, and turned out it did.
The more immediate you do it, that his survival rate was better. And we know that the survival rate isn't all that great when you have cardiac arrest outside the hospital. We know that those kids doing what they did is, given a life again.
We figured out that I was sick. I had strep for it was like 3 weeks before that, I think. And then I just kind of never got better. And I have a disease that I grow fat tissue around my heart instead of muscle tissue. and apparently the strep had just settled there, and that's what caused it. I got to marry my best friend, and my 2 other best friends were the best men at my wedding, so I think they have a pretty good idea what they mean.
Oh, I mean, it's really cool. Me and Cole were both the best men. It's crazy just to see how far they've come since then.
That was a great time. I mean, it was super special. Rye finally got like inducted into the friend group.
It just, I mean, it doesn't sound like he should be just walking around normal today after that happened.
They're everything. I owe everything to them. They're pretty special.
I don't know that I could say thank you enough or how grateful we are, but just would give anything, you know, for them to know how much I appreciate it.
What is a hero in your eyes?
Those 3. Those 3, when I look at them, that's all I think about.